So a couple of weeks ago, I managed to attend this large conference called the AWS Summit here in London. It is a flagship cloud computing event all about Amazon Web Services, essentially Amazon Cloud. So in this video, I want to talk to you about what cloud computing is and what it could mean for you and your potential career and future. To put it into context, cloud computing, as you can imagine, it means literally zooming or beaming up to the cloud. Essentially, you're connecting with something on the cloud. Now, the cloud in this instance is a metaphor, the metaphor being that it's something that virtually sits beyond your four walls. Many years ago, companies used to have these rooms called server rooms, and every single room contained stacks and stacks of these large black boxes, which were essentially called servers. Now, servers are machine hardware that store software applications. So think about your Microsoft email, think about your Office, your Microsoft Word, your Microsoft Excel, your SQL databases. All of that has to be stored somewhere. And traditionally, it was always held on these servers. Now, big companies and small companies spend a lot of time and money maintaining these server rooms. And these rooms used to be very noisy, used to consume a lot of energy. They used to be heavily air conditioned. You'll find and hear many fans that were operating in these rooms, and they were very ugly places to be. Now, I had the chance to witness quite a few of them because I used to work in some of these small firms here in London, and they used to have loads of these server rooms. Now, there's a couple of challenges. Now, number one, whenever software had to be updated, they had to update it over the weekend. And as a result, a lot of those servers, you'd see people going in and out of those rooms over the weekend just to update software and hardware. The other big problem is the physical nature. Whenever companies grew, they needed to add more servers. Now, if your room is already small in size, it basically means you need to find more space to add more servers. And this is a big issue when it comes to scaling and increasing in size, especially if you need more capacity. This, guys, was when internet speeds weren't as fast as they are today. So back then, guys, a lot of companies relied on premises server architecture to deliver everything they needed for software applications, email storage, web hosting, web storage. Everything you can imagine was all done from a local server site. Now, all that changed in 2002 because Amazon had started to really hit the scene. Now, as you already know, Amazon are very big players in the e-commerce space. So what Amazon realized was that their engineers were spending too much time dealing with these physical challenges when it comes to storing and running applications and building software. So what Amazon did was they built their own virtual servers, which allowed engineers from all over the world to tap into that one location, which stored all of their hardware. Amazon realized that there was actually a lot of potential demand in this because other companies may also want to borrow from the same servers. And they launched AWS all the way back in 2006, and it was a hit. They saw a huge demand from loads of businesses, small and medium and large, who wanted to use Amazon server capacity to run and support their computing needs. Now, you're probably wondering what kind of services were Amazon offering? Well, essentially it boils down to one of two or three buckets. The first bucket is called storage. So this is where you store your data. So Amazon have dedicated products just for storing data on their servers. And a typical classic one is called Amazon S3. The second bucket is known as compute, and this is where you need computing power. So when you think about RAM or processors, Amazon offer all of that. So as much computing power as you need, that was available via their product called EC2, and it still exists today. And the third product is what is essentially database management. So many companies wanted databases. Amazon realized that they could provide database services as well, and SQL was one of them. So fast forward today, guys, in 2024, cloud computing is a massive business. It's grown so big that after Amazon entered into the industry, Microsoft then followed, and then so did Google. So now the three biggest players are AWS, Microsoft's Azure, and Google's cloud platform, which is short for GCP. And all three offer fundamentally the same thing. They offer storage, they offer compute, and they offer database management, and they now offer many other services as well, including artificial intelligence platforms, machine learning models, email hosting, web application hosting, mobile application hosting. They offer so much now, so it's grown to become a lot bigger than what it once was. The biggest advantages are that A, you can scale. You can scale up or you can scale down. So if you're a small startup and you need to scale up, you want to grow and hire more staff, you can easily do that with cloud computing. You can add more licenses, more seats, you can train more machine learning models, you can buy and build more databases, you can reach more customers. You don't have to worry about constraints with bandwidth. You don't have to worry about the number of customer signups reaching maximum capacity. You don't have to worry about your machines being turned off and all of a sudden your website becomes inaccessible. But at the same time, you can also downscale as well. If a company ever wanted to downsize, they can do that too. And you only pay for what you use. That is the biggest advantage for cloud computing. The second biggest advantage is that you can set up super fast, because remember, you're not using any hardware, you're not buying any servers, you're not stacking them together. All these tech companies are building data centers all over the world, and that in itself is a huge business. So all you got to do is just set up an account, create a few login credentials, and you're good to go. You can set up a SQL database, you can set up a MongoDB database, you can set up Tableau, you can set up Salesforce, you can set up Snowflake, you can set up Databricks, you name it. You can build AI applications, you can build ML applications, you can get started straight away. Why is it important? Like, why did I even attend this event? Well, the reason why I attended the event is because cloud computing is accelerating. The last 3 months of 2023 saw some huge revenue growth for Amazon, Microsoft, and Google. In fact, they delivered double-digit growth across all of their cloud computing divisions, and that's off the back of artificial intelligence. So what I'm trying to say, guys, is there's a huge career prospects and a huge career growth that is emerging in cloud computing. If you want to become someone who has a future career for a long time in the world of technology, then you want to learn cloud computing. In fact, you have to learn cloud computing with the way things are going. So you can find roles like data analysts, but generally speaking, they're not really called data analysts on the cloud or cloud analysts. If you want to work specifically with data and you want to do some data science, then you want to become essentially a data engineer. Career guides, which I'll post up as a link in the video description below, is that you can follow the pathway of a cloud engineer. There are many others. You can also become an architect. That's someone who designs the structure and setup of a cloud computing system. So all you do is you design it. You can essentially sketch it and draw it out, but you don't build it. Then you also have developers. These are people who build individual components, modules within a cloud computing setup. Then you also have DevOps. These are people who are continuously updating and managing applications, which is short for development operations. So cloud DevOps is a big thing. And you also have security. So cybersecurity is a big thing as well. And then you also have database managers as well, of course. More recently, you now have AI engineers, machine learning, all of that is now available on the cloud too. Guys, there's a lot of potential in cloud computing. Myself, for instance, I am looking to specialize in the cloud, and you will see more content coming very soon, especially around AWS. I'll also do content on Azure and GCP as well, but I'll be starting with the AWS first. And I hope to cover a lot of interesting projects and build videos and tutorials on how to get started on the cloud. If you have any comments, please drop them in the comment section below. Otherwise, if you haven't already done so, please do consider subscribing, and I hope to see you on the next one. Take care for now. Bye.